I'm Suzie LeBlanc, Artistic and Executive Director of Early Music Vancouver. And before I jump in to this season's launch, I just want to thank each and every one of you who supported EMV this past year. Thanks to your generosity, we produced 18 online concerts on our digital concert hall, which were viewed more than 40,000 times and which employed over 40 Canadian artists. We really couldn't have done that without you. It's my great pleasure to talk to you about the Bach Festival, the first one that I'm programming. As the first woman director of Early Music Vancouver, I'm thrilled to present, as part of the Bach Festival, the City of Ladies Festival. The title comes from a book written by Christine de Pizan, published in 1405, which is describing a city in which each brick of that city is the life of a woman and her gifts to society. She was one of the first feminist writers. She was harshly criticized for questioning the role and the place of women in society. The first concert of that festival is called The City of Ladies, and it's presented by Ensemble Servir Antico from Belgium, directed by Catalina Vicens. In this concert, you'll hear the words of Christine de Pizan, as well as the words of a forward-thinking poet, Martin Lefranc, who supported her vision. And this is mixed with songs from the medieval and early Renaissance. You'll hear music from the Ars Subtilior, which is the art of subtle music, and songs by Renaissance composers Dufay and others, and Burgundian chansons. This concert is taking place in a beautiful, beautiful convent called Notre-Dame à la Rose in Belgium. It's attached to a hospital and to a medicinal garden and is today also a museum. We're pairing this concert with a concert that is recorded in Montreal at l'Hôtel Dieu. L'Hôtel Dieu is also a convent attached to a hospital with a chapel, with a medicinal garden, and is now a museum. And it's the home of the Hospitaller nuns. And this concert is going to be an homage to these nuns, marrying history and music by finding words that come from the archives of the first Hospitallers that arrived in Quebec in 1659, and combined with reflections by today's nuns that we interviewed during the confinement. This concert is going to be sung by the beautiful voices of Le Studio de Musique Ancienne de Montréal, with actress and author Célia Laguiton telling the stories of the nuns, and the whole concert is directed by Rona Nadler. The next two concerts are also kind of a pair, honoring two wonderful women composers. The first is Chiara Margherita Cozzolani. She came from a wealthy merchant family in Milan, and at the age of 18, she entered a convent, Santa Radegonda, and became its abbess later on. She was a wonderful composer, and we're going to perform motets from her book published in 1648, for which the bass part was never found. So they have not been performed yet because all we had was the singer's part. Thanks to Lucas Harris, a theorbo player, arranger, composer, and director in Toronto, who reconstructed the bass line for these motets, we can finally hear them. And they'll be performed by two wonderful upcoming artists from Montreal, singers Ariadne Lee and Andréane Brisson-Paquin. The fourth concert is in honor of Barbara Strozzi. Barbara Strozzi is one of the most famous composer of Baroque arias. She lived in Venice, which was the Mecca of early music at the time. And she was also leading debates, very interesting debates. One of them was on whether tears or song are the most powerful expression of love. And she concluded the debate by agreeing with the company she was with, saying, I agree with you that song should win the favor of this debate, because if I'd invited you here today to hear me cry, you wouldn't have come. Our online contribution from Vancouver will be music in the Van Dusen Gardens, short films in the gardens with music by James Oswald, a Scottish composer who was a fifer and a dancing master who wrote airs for the seasons, and each of these pieces is on the name of a different flower or shrub. They will be played by our local musicians on flute, violin, viola da gamba and harpsichord, and joined by 2 dancers from Ballet BC. This is a first collaboration between EMV and Ballet BC, and we really hope it's not the last one. They'll be filmed by our wonderful partners, Collide Entertainment. In addition to these online concerts, we are presenting 7 concerts in the Chan Center to be recorded in front of a live audience. We really hope to be able to welcome some of you into the Chan Center for these concerts. They will feature the Pacific Baroque Orchestra, led by Alexander Weiman, and welcome soloists Chloe Kim from Victoria on violin, Eleanor Fry on cello from Montreal, and this year's artist-in-residence, Jonathan Adams, who is a baritone from Cree Métis origin, specialized in early music. For the music by Bach, of course, music by Purcell. These concerts in the Chan Center will be a really unique opportunity to hear music live again. And we really hope and trust that we'll be able to welcome a certain number of you into the Chan Center. Tickets will be rare, and I urge you to purchase yours as soon as possible. And if you want more information on any of these concerts, you'll find all the details on the website, which is earlymusic.bc.ca. I want to say how much I look forward to meeting you in person at these concerts and in the future. Thank you so much for listening.